Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly forecast for December 13th, Monday, all the way to Sunday, December 26th. Okay, and I'll get to that in a minute, but right now I would like to thank all of my subscribers for returning and always returning and supporting me. And if you're not a subscriber, if you like this video, you might consider subscribing to my channel and liking and sharing this video. There's also information in the description box below. If you would like to have your personal chart done, there's a link there to my website, but there's also a thing called Ask Me a Question, which is for people who only want to know maybe one or two things about their chart. Okay, so just read all that stuff down below. And also the counter marks or time stamps are like further down sometimes, so I know some people were having a hard time finding their sign, their section in the video because that wasn't displayed. You have to click on the show more link there to get all of the stuff that's in the description box. Now, here's the thing. Oh, well, first of all, another thing, okay? Happy birthday to all of the Sagittarians born between December 13th and December 26th. Special shout out to you. Also, a very special happy birthday to those girls named Noelle and Holly and Mary, spelled M-E-R-R-Y, and even a Nicholas or two for the boys, okay? And a very, very special happy birthday to those of you born on Christmas and having every year since birth to compete with Jesus for a little bit of attention on your birthday. Okay, so I just, and everyone, of course, born this month that gets the double gift that's half a birthday gift and half a holiday gift. So Merry Christmas and happy holidays and happy birthday to everyone born this month. Okay, now what's happening again is what just happened like a few weeks ago, where there really aren't any major transits. Okay, I only deal with major transits here. For this week, from Monday, December 13th through this Sunday, whatever that date is. Let's see. Anyways, okay, so that's why this forecast is going from December 13th, Monday, to December 26th, Sunday, because the very first aspect really is on December 20th, Monday. Okay, so this first week is the 13th through the 19th, right? And the only thing that happens is on Monday, December 13th, Mars moves into Sagittarius and Mercury moves into Capricorn. Okay, so the first aspects, major aspects, are on Monday, December 20th, when we have the Sun in Sagittarius sextiles Jupiter in Aquarius, and also on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn trines Uranus in Taurus. And on Tuesday, December 21st, the Sun moves into Capricorn. On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. On Saturday, the 25th, Christmas, okay, Venus conjuncts Pluto, both of them in Capricorn. And on Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn sextiles Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so that's actually kind of like where your forecast begins, is December 20th. And all this week, the 13th through the 19th, there's really nothing too much going on here, okay? Anyways, we'll get right to it, okay? So for Aries, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 9th house sextiles Jupiter transiting in your 11th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 10th house trines Uranus transiting in your 2nd house of Taurus. So the Sun in your 9th house of foreign anything, okay, that's where you have Sagittarius, right? Governs foreign people from another country, different culture even. People who actually live at a distance, though, they don't even have to really be foreign in any way. They don't have to live in another country, just at a distance. many things here, okay? But your 11th house, where you have Jupiter, which is about ready to move, okay, into Pisces. But you've had Jupiter in your 11th house of friends and acquaintances, any kind of organization that you belong to, and like where you would normally go to hang out. It's also like social media. This area of your life should have expanded in some way or other with new people coming into it, okay? Or meeting people that are like turning you on to like different interests, you know, so maybe you would never have had any contact with anything like that if you had not, let's say, befriended somebody like on social media. But it looks like they could be a foreigner or, you know, from another country. So maybe you're learning more about possibly a place that you would like to visit, or they you know, this person, you could have actually met them through work, like the kind of work that you do, just having this Mercury in your 10th house of career where you have Capricorn, and the very nice trine to Uranus in your 2nd house of earned income means that you are doing something. You're having some kind of possible meeting or conversation with a very influential person that you may have met on social media, okay, or it could even be someone that is a mentor of yours or a colleague, or it is your actual boss if you do work for someone else. But it looks like you have been in contact with and made friends with some pretty influential people, and it is increasing your income in some way. It's giving you a new source, possibly new clients, just new business. So there's a little bit of networking going on here. And I would have to say, though, a lot of it is going to be, if you haven't worked before or have been dealing with people overseas, it looks like that's what you'll have in store for you coming up. Okay, so you're opening up the world market or something or other. Okay, so on Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 11th house squares Uranus transiting in your 2nd house of Taurus. So this is sometimes when your 11th house, again, being your friends and your associates, any kind of group or organization that you belong to, but it's also your house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. And this planet will just be transiting here for a little bit longer, and it will be by itself because Jupiter is moving from this area. So you may notice that when Jupiter is gone from the 28th on, it moves into Pisces. So that you are coming in contact with people who are like, let's say like Debbie Downers, you know, if you watch Saturday Night Live, that character, where they're very negative about anything, and it could be to the point where maybe someone is standing in your way or blocking your progress in some area or other, even if it is like an organization that you would like to belong to or a group that you're trying to form even. They could be like stifling you in some way or other. So that's kind of what this is you're going after a goal, okay, that you've had your eye on the prize for a long time, right? And something or someone is possibly blocking your way, okay? It's just, you know, this will pass. This is just a transit that it comes and goes more or less, but it's blocking your ability to, I don't know, possibly do business with certain people. Maybe they're not letting you have access to the people that you're trying to reach out to, the very people you would like to do business with. Okay, something like that. On Saturday, the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 10th house conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn in your 10th house. So this is, you know, the transit. I did do a separate video on this, so you might want to listen to that. But this is being very appealing and just, you know, you're in the public eye. You're like a media darling or whatever right now. Okay, your 10th house is your career and your personal life, though, how you're known by reputation for both of those. But it's your most public house, okay? It's how the public perceives you, your outer persona, okay? So they're just viewing you as like somebody that's drop dead good looking, or just someone that is very, alluring. You have a lot of attention going on you right now. So if I would kind of like be very careful of how I acted in public, or if I posted something in social media. I would, yeah, every time you post something, you might want to keep in mind that there are a lot of eyes on you, and there I don't know, could be hanging on your every word even. So you might want to take care with whatever it is you say or do in public, okay? So on Sunday, the 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 10th house, sextiles Neptune transiting in your 12th house of Pisces. So this is, again, a big communication conversation with someone, but it's happening in secret, okay? You're having either you're being pulled aside, or someone is pulling you aside to have a little bit of a I don't know, a conversation in regards to your career, that it could be letting you in on information that other people don't know about just yet, or something that's coming up within your line of work or your company that you work for, or even if you're self-employed. Excuse me, just something coming up that maybe not everyone knows about, okay, but they're letting you in on it, okay? So for Taurus, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 8th house, okay, sextiles Jupiter transiting in your 10th house of Aquarius, and on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 9th house trines Uranus transiting in your first house of Taurus. So, with planets still in your 8th house of other people's resources and money, making a really nice sextile to your 10th house of career, where you've had Jupiter like all year, and it's leaving this area on the 28th and moving into Pisces. So all you're going to have here is Saturn. And this could be a time, though, too. Usually with this combination, you do have a promotion of some kind. Okay, especially with both of these planets traveling together in your 10th house of your career. Okay, so that could be the thing that's going on right now. It's like a changing of the guards kind of thing, where you are taking over either someone else's position, and it is a step up the career ladder there, right? Or you're being put in charge of like a whole new area, or this is when your actual promotion begins, something like that, okay? On the same day, though, with this trine from your 9th house to your first house, okay, a lot of it seems to be your 9th house, where you have Capricorn, house of many, many things. But it is the house of higher learning. It's the house of knowledge, okay? So, you've had planets here for a while in Capricorn, okay? There's always been a planet here, especially that Pluto here for years and years. So along the way, even if you haven't, like, taken up a study, you've absorbed information in some way or other, some kind of knowledge, just out of curiosity. Maybe it's just an interest that you have. But it's really enhancing your personality in a way that it's opening doors for you in your career, or even socially. That's something that's coming up when Jupiter moves into Pisces in your 11th house. That area of your life will expand. So that's just like starting, it seems, starting up right now, okay? On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 10th house squares Uranus transiting in your first house of Taurus. So this could be the part of, like I was saying, having your 10th house where you'll just have Saturn, okay, coming up. I believe that you have been given like a lot of responsibility this whole past year, whatever it is that you do for a living, okay? Even though it might have been a promotion of some kind or whatever, it was still an awful lot of hard work, or you were working with someone, a higher up that put awful lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and they may have even taken credit for some of your work. sometimes, and this is almost like maybe some of that is coming out right now. Maybe there's changes that will be going on, let's say like in January, or the first of the year or whatever. Companies like to start whatever they're going to do, any kind of change that they're going to do, like in the beginning of the year. So it could be something like that, and you're finding out, you didn't, maybe you feel like you didn't sign on for this, you're not sure if you really like the job that you have or the position that you have there right now. It seems like it's really curbing your personality in some way, that it's like taking away from you, it's smothering you or stifling you in whatever way. Okay, it could even be like some new stupid policy, that the company adopted that starts in January, that you're like, wait a minute, So anyways, on Saturday, the 25th, okay, Venus in Capricorn in your 9th house conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn in your 9th house. Okay, so this is the transit I was talking about that I did the separate video on. Okay, so your 9th house is the house of adventure, travel, long distance communication, and travel for both of those, okay? Like I said, Pluto's been here for a while, so it's changed or altered your views on religion and philosophy and your own personal philosophy, just anything. Okay, so I believe that, you could take a little bit of a leap of faith here, and I'm pretty sure there's probably someone that you've been in touch with on and off who lives at a distance, possibly in another country, or they are actually a foreigner, they're from another country. Either you make plans with this person to, finally get together in person, or they are actually traveling to see you, or you're traveling to see them. If not, there's some kind of big communication going on here. I mean, this is Christmas Day, so I would have to say that you'll spend most of the day possibly on phone calls, a lot of them long distance. Okay, on Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 9th house sextiles Neptune, transiting in your 11th house of Pisces. So we're back to your 9th house with communications again, just because this is Mercury making the aspect to Neptune in your 11th house of friends. Okay, friends and any kind of organization that you belong to, but this is like your most sociable house. Okay, so at this time you may be even like socializing online. Okay, but if you do go out in public, to like visit with your friends in person, I know the pandemic is still keeping a lot of people home, so maybe you're not even doing that, but it's like doing something with your friends, okay, that is kind of heartwarming or whatever, in a way that you could be meeting even new people, but seeing old friends, or going to an old place where you used to hang out, or something like that. But it's something that has like a little bit of a spiritual effect on like all of you guys. Okay. So for you know what? I'm going to stop here before my tape runs out. Okay, so for Gemini, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 7th house sextiles Jupiter, transiting in your 9th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 8th house trines Uranus, transiting in your 12th house of Taurus. So we're back to your 7th house of close relationships, partnerships, whatever. Very nice sextile to your 9th house where you have Aquarius. This planet, Jupiter, okay, will be moving into your 10th house of your career on the 28th, where you have Pisces. It moves into Pisces. So maybe this is just like one last thing here. Having Jupiter in your 9th house makes you want to possibly travel a little bit more, take up some kind of new interest or whatever, learn something new. Right now, whatever it looks like, maybe one of your close relationships, either business and or romantic, maybe possibly like going with you on a trip somewhere. Maybe you're traveling for the holidays even, or maybe it is business related possibly. But on the same day, having Mercury in your 8th house, a nice money house, okay, trining Uranus in your 12th house of Taurus, the 12th house being the house of hidden matters or secrets. Maybe someone is actually, leaving you something at this time. Briefly, back to the 9th house again is legal matters. So maybe this is something that's being cleared up at this time before Jupiter moves from this area. So maybe you are or have been in line for like some kind of legacy or inheritance, okay? Or some kind of settlement of a legal matter or insurance payout, something like that, okay? Even this 7th house thing, like with your close relationships, this is also the house of like lawyers, somebody like consultants, specialists of some kind. So it could be maybe good news in regards to money, that was supposed to come to you for whatever reason. It could, like I said, be an inheritance, but it could be anything, okay? Money or resources, okay? Or even a person just simply doing something for you. But the fact that you have this trine to Uranus in your 12th house of secrets, maybe it's something that you're not going to let everybody know about. If it is money, maybe you don't want anyone to know that you have it. It doesn't look like it's a huge amount of money, but still, people could have plans for your money, right? On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 9th house squares Uranus transiting in your 12th house of Taurus. So this has been going on and off, more or less. Saturn will remain here once Jupiter leaves, so you're going to have this transit again, more, whenever, okay? But it's happening behind the scenes, okay? So Saturn in your 9th house sometimes means that, I don't know, traveling sometimes or communications even are kind of stifled, or they don't go smoothly. Legal matters even could possibly be coming up, something that you may have to initiate yourself, okay? The fact that, it's making a aspect to, like, Uranus in your 12th house, okay? Uranus is all about freedom, to do things or even be yourself, but to do things the way you want them done and blah, blah, blah. So you may be being kind of coerced in a way to have not just legal matters, but anything. If you're into, this is also the house of media and publishing. So if you write something at this time, if you have an editor, they're going to, I don't know, edit it to shit, where it doesn't even seem recognizable to whatever it was that you actually handed in. Stuff like that, people getting in your way, let's put it that way, but you're like having to keep your mouth shut about it. You really can't reveal too much about how you feel about whatever it is that's happening, okay, or what someone is doing. But you may be trying to do something behind the scenes to, like, protect yourself or to undo whatever someone else has done, or put things back the way you want them to be. Okay, but you're doing it in secret. On Saturday, the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 8th house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn in your 8th house. So this could be the time that, you do receive that inheritance or money or anything that comes to you. Okay, the 8th house is a money house, but it's money coming to you without earning it. It's passive money. So this could be some kind of win, okay, in a contest or prize money or something like that. But it is even a refund or someone having to pay you back, somebody that owed you money. But it could also be just like this is the house of shared resources with a partner. Okay, so it could be a partner, a romantic partner, a spouse or something like that, or a business partner giving you, what you should have probably had all along. Okay. On Sunday, the 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 8th house, sextiles Neptune transiting in your 10th house of Pisces. So whatever is happening, let's say like the day before, it's going to give you the ability to do something in your career. Okay, move forward in some way or other, change something about your outer persona. 8th house, like I said, is also resources, so you could be being given something to enhance your job in some way or other. It could be, I don't know, supplies or equipment or, not just money. It could be something like that. Okay, on, let's see here, for Cancer, sorry. On Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 6th house, sextiles Jupiter transiting in your 8th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 7th house, trines Uranus transiting in your 11th house of Taurus. So we still have the Sun, in your 6th house of the workplace, the kind of work that you do, and your work schedule and your co-workers and all that. So very nice sextile to Jupiter in your 8th house, which will be moving on the 28th into Pisces into your 9th house. So this could be that one last time. A lot of times before a planet moves, it does one big boom aspect, and then it leaves. Okay, so 8th house is other people's money and resources. Okay, you should have had, while Jupiter was here, access to those very things. Maybe not everything, because Saturn is also transiting here at the same time. Okay, so 8th house is also like the house of legacies and inheritances. And with Saturn here, especially it's going to be here by itself now when Jupiter leaves here. This is the house of endings. It's the house of death. Okay, either literally or figuratively. Okay, so it's an ending of some kind, possibly coming to a head, and you are getting money, an inheritance of some kind, insurance payout, legal settlement, something or other that was supposed to more than likely be yours anyway. But as far as the workplace go and the kind of work that you do, maybe your benefits were increased or could be a pay rate. But it looks like you are either having access to things through your company that you didn't have before, or even if you're self-employed, you have a client or somebody that's giving you something that it's work-related. Okay, it helps you in your job or whatever it is that you do. And even if you're retired, you're still on the receiving end of something. Okay, on Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 8th house squares Uranus transiting in your 11th house of Taurus. Okay, I forgot to run through this real quick, okay, with Mercury trine Uranus. Okay, so it is pretty much the same thing with the Sun in Sagittarius sextiling Jupiter in your 8th house there, okay, in Aquarius, because on the same day we have Mercury trine Uranus. So your 7th house, again, being close relationships, but it's partners. It's partnerships. Your 11th house is your friends, your associates, acquaintances. It's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. Okay, it's your most sociable house, though. So having the planet Uranus here for as long as it has been so far, you've probably met a lot of really unusual people or different. They're different than what your old friends were or are. They're very interesting. Okay, so these people in your life, okay, could be a close friend as far as partnerships go. They help to introduce you to a new group of friends, or put a good word in for you with an organization that you would like to belong to that they already belong to. So they're like presenting you in a way to a new group of people. Okay, now this Saturn square Uranus on Friday, the 24th, okay? This is from your 8th house where Saturn is with a square to your 11th house, okay, where you have Taurus. So sometimes joining a new group of friends or an organization or something like that requires money. So they may be after your support in that way, you know, or they want you to do stuff for the organization to bring in money. You know, it could be anything, but it could be that it's just not what you expected. You were like really wanting to be part of something or other, and then once you join up with these people or this organization, or even that you find out more about them, you're not so much interested anymore because they put a real damper on what you had in mind. Okay, your 11th house is your house of dreams, hopes, and wishes also. Okay, so you're after something a little bit different, but they're not really going to help you in that way. It looks like they want more help from you rather than helping you. Okay. On Saturday, the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 7th house conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn in your 7th house. So if you haven't listened to the video I did on this aspect, you probably should, because this really affects you. Capricorn is your opposite sign, okay? Your 7th house is your close relationships, right? So you have Mercury's even here at the same time. But this is a really kind of obsessive quality towards a close relationship. Either somebody's just like waking up some morning and going, you know, starting to accuse you of all kinds of stuff. I mean, if this is like in a romantic relationship, all of a sudden this person is jealous for no reason at all. They're just thinking things up in their mind, which is really weird. If this is like a business partner, it's the same thing, and it's regarding business. You know, they think that you're going to run out on them, you're going to start your own business, or you're going to go into business with someone else and leave them, leave the relationship. And the same thing with like a close friend even. Okay, so where they're just like very grabby. Everybody's very grabby at you right now. Okay, possessive, right? So like on the next day, the 26th, okay, Mercury in Capricorn in your 7th house, sextiles Neptune transiting in your 9th house of Pisces. So this is actually a pretty nice transit. The 9th house is many, many things, but having Neptune here, this is the house of spirituality, religious beliefs, and your philosophy on life. Okay, it's also your background. You should listen to the video that I did on Jupiter in Pisces, okay? That very nice conjunction here with Neptune brings out a really, really spiritual side to you, okay? You know, you could take up like a whole new religion or whatever at this time. But anyways, this is kind of like seeing eye to eye with a close partner. Okay, you have a lot of things in common. That's what you're looking at this time. The things that you have in common, not the things that you have that are different. Okay. So for Leo, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 5th house, sextiles Jupiter transiting in your 7th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 6th house, trines Uranus transiting in Taurus in your 10th house. Okay, so we're back to your 5th and 6th and 7th and 10th house. And all of this is the 6th, 7th, and 10th. That's all work related, okay, pretty much. 5th house is still the house of fun. The Sun is still here in Sagittarius, and you still have time to have some fun there on the 20th with that sextile to Jupiter in your 7th house of close relationships, okay? So either with a friend or a romantic partner, it looks to me like you are, you know, squeezing the last bit of fun, more or less, that, you know, maybe you have time off or something or other, or you're able to actually do something that you've been wanting to do. Also, though, you know, a lot of times having Jupiter in your 7th house brings about marriage of some kind. You know, it could be a marriage of a business, but it could be outright marriage. Okay, so if someone's proposed to you, or they haven't, okay, this could be that one last time that they feel they've got to do it. They've got to say something. Okay, with the sun in your 5th house of romance. Okay, romance and fun. Speculation, creativity, everything like that. The 5th house is a lot of fun. Okay, you are the natural ruler of the 5th house. So you're a big romantic, and that's something that could be going on right now. So on the same day, okay, Mercury in your 6th house of Capricorn trines Uranus in your 10th house of your career in Taurus, okay? So something could be going on. You know, at work, a co-worker is either putting in a good word for you, or your boss or somebody is being approached trying to by the company to figure out who is like the best person for a certain position, and it looks like your boss or higher up or whatever is putting in a good word for you. It is some kind of communication in regards to work, though, that enhances your career in some way, or your professional reputation. There could be actually work that you do, though, work that you've done that is probably something very creative that's getting, I don't know, a lot of praise right now. On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 7th house squares Uranus transiting in your 10th house of Taurus. Okay, so we're back to the work, your career, okay, and close partners, close friendships. So, you know, having Saturn in your 7th house does make you kind of gravitate towards people who are like stable, seem like really stable and reliable to you as far as relationships go. So maybe that's what you were looking for, especially with Jupiter here was transiting at the same time. So it was opening up the arena for you to like have these people come into your life. You had more people to choose from as far as close relationships go, or business relationships, or like a new close friend or something like that. But right now, one of those kind of people in your life, okay, could be like smothering you when it comes to your career or whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, having Uranus in your 10th house does make you want to see totally new possibilities for whatever you want to do for a living, or how you would even like to be known personally, your personal reputation, you know. Maybe they are trying to talk you out of doing something, or trying to poke holes in the unreality of whatever it is that you would like to do. Okay, so they're a Debbie Downer. They're putting I don't know. They're pointing out all the reasons why you shouldn't do something as far as your career goes, or even your public reputation. Okay, but this will pass. Okay. On Saturday, the 25th, Christmas. Okay, Venus in Capricorn in your 6th house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn in your 6th house. If you haven't listened to the video that I made on this aspect, you might want to do that. This is occurring in your house of like workplace, the workplace with your co-workers. Okay. You could, I don't know, suddenly be attracted to a co-worker, or even a higher up could like hit on you. That could be like this whole thing too with the Saturn square Uranus thing, where it puts you in like an awkward position, you know, because you want your job, but you don't really want a relationship with this person, but they're like, I don't know, the person that you report to. You know, so that's why workplace romances aren't any good, because they really do affect your your ability to work, you know, because maybe you're not even interested in this person. So you could really be surprised by it. It could be, though, very uncomfortable. Okay, maybe not something that you want, right? If it's not something with the workplace, this is like in your health. This is your house of health. This is actually, I think, a good thing, even though having Venus here does make you like eat and drink a little bit more than usual. But as far as Pluto being here, your health has changed or altered in some way or other. Sometimes it's just kind of like a gradual thing, or something has happened to you, possibly in the workplace. I mean, for years I've been saying don't climb any ladders or whatever at work if that's not part of your job, you know, because if you fall and get hurt, you know, there's the whole workman's comp thing and like all this other crap, you know, just too much going on, you know, when it comes to stuff like that. So it could be something, though, with that, with your health, okay? On Sunday the 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 6th house, sextiles Neptune transiting in your 8th house of Pisces. So the 8th house being a money house. Jupiter's moving here, okay, on the 28th. So there could actually be like something starting right now with this aspect that will be put into effect, let's say like January or something like that, when everybody does stuff at the beginning of the year, okay? Companies like to start things at the beginning of the year. So there could be some kind of benefit coming to you, an increase in your benefits even, or access to company, I don't know, credit cards or a car or something or other, okay? But you're benefiting in some way that possibly begins now, okay, by other people's resources or money. But because this is starting from the 6th house of the workplace, I'm going to have to say for now it's from work. It's because of work. Okay, so for Virgo, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 4th house, sextiles Jupiter transiting in your 6th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 5th house trines Uranus transiting in your 9th house of Taurus. So you still have the Sun in your 4th house of your home life, your family, your personal life. I guess, you know, awful lot of activity going on there at this time of year because of the holidays. Very nice sextile, though, to your 6th house of the workplace and the kind of work that you do. You know, Jupiter will be leaving here on the 28th and moving into your 7th house where you have Pisces, because it's moving into Pisces. So all you're going to have here is Saturn. So you've been doing an awful lot of hard work, I guess, pretty much all year, or just period anyways, like throughout your life. But, you know, a new, like a side thing, or even to like your regular everyday job. There was like a side hustle kind of to it, even though it still pertained to the kind of work that you always do anyway, right? Something like that is kind of like going on right now, just because Mercury in your 5th house, okay, of Capricorn is making a very nice trine to your 9th house where you have Uranus transiting right now. So the 5th house is the house of romance and fun and a lot of other things, but it's also the house of creativity. Your 9th house is, especially having the planet Uranus here, it's many, many things, but this is the house of media and publishing. This is a big internet house. The house of long-distance communications and travels and foreign anything. Foreigners, people from other countries, different backgrounds than yours, different cultures, you know, all kinds of stuff, okay? Also the house of higher learning, but having the planet Uranus here kind of means that you're having a bit of an adventure, whether or not you're even looking for one, excuse me, while this planet is here. Excuse me, sorry. So I'd have to say that right now there's like new possibilities or whatever coming up for whatever it is you do for a living, or however you earn money. Even if you're retired, there's still, you still have an income coming in somewhere or other, because you need money to live off of, right? Right? So it looks like that's opening up, and it may have actually started at home, within your home. So you are, excuse me, either moving your current work that you do, let's say in a building, to your home, or you'll have like a schedule where you only go into the workplace, so many times a week or whatever, but you're working from home, and or you've created something that you yourself do on your own. You've become self-employed, or again, like I said, you have some kind of side thing going on, okay, because you are bringing in other money in some way or other. Okay. On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 6th house squares Uranus transiting in your 9th house of Taurus. So we're back to the workplace again. Okay, now that Jupiter is leaving here, Jupiter should have at least brought in one maybe new employee to the workplace that benefited you in some way. They either became a personal friend of yours and they'll remain a friend of yours outside the workplace, or they just made your workload a little bit lighter, or there were new boss possibly that was easier to get along with. But now that Jupiter is leaving here, all you're going to have here is Saturn. This is a square to the 9th house of, let's say, higher learning. Okay, knowledge. So, you feel possibly that you have enough information, or you know more, let's say, like than your coworkers do, or you're more experienced or something or other for whatever kind of work that you do. Okay, so you may be having to point that out to the company you work for, or your coworkers, or something or other, that you have far more experience or knowledge in whatever area it is when it comes to work. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a theme in your life for like the next, so many months or whatever. But now that Jupiter, like I said, is moving from this area, you don't have that buffer area. Okay, that's what Jupiter usually does, is it creates a little bit of a buffer to where you're not feeling the full effect of, let's say, like this Saturn transit. Okay, but Saturn will be here by itself. Also, with Saturn here, you may have a little bit of a health scare, okay, that is just something more than likely just in your mind. It's not really anything, but you go and have it checked out just to, you should anyway, right? But you'll more than likely have it checked out just to make sure that you are well, okay? On Saturday the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 5th house conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn in your 5th house. And you should listen to the video that I did on this aspect, because it'll give you a little bit more detail. But what this does is, the 5th house is the house of romance, okay? And having Venus here obviously denotes romance, okay? But it's also the house of creativity, okay? So you either have a really intense romantic relationship going on right now, which is made even more intense by this conjunction, okay? This is one of those, this is my soulmate kind of things, or this is just eyes, being at a party and seeing someone from a clear across the room, and your eyes just meeting for the first time, and it's like love at first sight, something like that. Or if this is a creative project, it could be something really, really unique and amazing in some way that it really affects people when they look at it. Okay, or if it's something to visually see, or if you write something at this time, or whatever it is that you create, it has a very intense kind of allure to it. Okay. On Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 5th house sextiles Neptune transiting in your 7th house of Pisces. So we're back to, okay, your 7th house is your close relationships, like romantic or business or close friends, and Jupiter is moving here, okay? When Jupiter is in your 7th house, you have a lot of opportunities to make new close relationships. So a lot of times when Jupiter is here, okay, people get married. Okay, that kind of relationship. But that doesn't mean that you're going to get married. It just means that you'll have more opportunities to form either a business relationship, romantic, or even just like a close friend. But the very nice sextile, though, from your 5th house, if it is creative, okay, to Neptune in your 7th house, maybe you are beginning to form a partnership right now, okay, with someone on a creative project. And that's something that could actually, again, like I said, be starting right now. Okay, for Libra, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 3rd house sextiles Jupiter, transiting in your 5th house of Aquarius. And on the same day, a Mercury in Capricorn in your 4th house trines Uranus, transiting in your 8th house of Taurus. So we've got the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 8th going on here. Okay, the 3rd and 4th, we'll say, has a little bit to do with family. Probably family, even like your immediate family. Okay, so the Sun, starting off in your 3rd house in Sagittarius, then moving into your 4th house of family. Just means that, maybe there are a lot of, I don't know, people coming to, stay with you, or like the holidays are being spent at your place. Maybe you weren't planning on that, but now you are. Also, though, there could be something kind of, you could still even be taking a little bit of a trip, even if it's just like a day trip to do something, even if it's to do something like go see Christmas lights or something like that, okay? On the same day, though, with Mercury in your 4th house, okay, of family and your home life and everything, but with a very nice trine to your 8th house of Taurus, where you have the planet Uranus, a lot of times, the 8th house is passive money. It's money coming to you through means other than earning it, but it's jointly held resources and debt, okay, but it's also the house of legacies and inheritances. And because planets are in your 4th house of your family life and even your childhood, this is your past and your childhood, that something could come out at this time. It could be at one of those holiday gatherings where someone let you know that something was left to you or is going to be left to you in a will. Or some kind of property is being given to you, or something, is you're being given use of. It could even be property. Maybe it's like a cabin or something like that, or a home at the beach or something. Whatever, it doesn't mean that you're going to take advantage of it right now, but it's something like in the future that you have access to either money or resources that belong to someone else. And it could even be somebody pretty surprising. That's the big twist here with this, the planet Uranus in your 8th house, is who it is or how it is that you're coming by any kind of resources, money especially. Okay. On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 5th house squares Uranus, transiting in your 8th house of Taurus. So we're back to the 8th house here again, and having Saturn in your 5th house of romance and fun, creativity and speculation and children. And all of these things that I just mentioned may be a little bit, tiny bit of a concern for you in the future. Jupiter is still in Aquarius, but it will be moving into Pisces on the 28th, so it's leaving the 5th house, and all you're going to have is Saturn here. Okay, Jupiter will be moving into your 6th house where you have Pisces. So something like that could be showing like itself right now, that you have just like Saturn in a house that's supposed to be a lot of fun. okay, where now it looks like there's an awful lot of responsibilities, okay, or that you are really looking for a more stable romantic relationship, or you have a child, or there's a child in your life, maybe it isn't yours, maybe it's your romantic person in your life that is someone, they're always going to be there, you know, so you might as well take them into consideration now and form some kind of relationship with them, okay? Or you could have a child that it is a little bit of a concern for you somewhere down the way, okay? You could have invested in something, though, at this time that didn't work out the way you thought it would, okay? Didn't bear fruit or whatever. Or you could even have a romantic partner or a creative partner that is I don't know, trying to get at your money or trying to get at your resources in some way or other, okay? They feel that you owe them for whatever reason, okay? If it's creative, it's because you worked on something together. If it's romantic, it's because you were together, okay? On Saturday the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 4th house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn in your 4th house. So you might want to listen to the video that I did on this very aspect, okay? These two planets together bring about a very, like a heavy kind of aspect to romance, okay? It brings about a bit of obsessiveness is the word I always use with this transit. So there's possibly something, you know, going on in your personal life, maybe you're not letting everybody in on it right now. It could be with a spouse or someone that you're just involved with that's pretty intense. You know, they could be trying to get you to change your lifestyle in some way or other, or they want to move in with you, or they want you to move in with them, or you should get rid of people that are living with you, you know, if it's a roommate or something or other, or whatever. Just all of a sudden they get a little bit more kind of manipulative when it comes to your personal life, okay? On Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 4th house sextiles Neptune transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. 6th house is the workplace, your co-workers, the kind of work that you do. With Jupiter moving here on the 28th, that whole area is going to expand in some way or other. Okay, so maybe you're already aware of that. Maybe you had been planning on doing something like that. So you are like moving stuff around or whatever within your home. You're making room for possibly, it looks like working at home. Okay, even if you work for someone else right now, or you're retired even, you don't work at all, you could be doing something on the side that brings in more money, but it's something that you enjoy. You know, it was like a hobby or something, or, you know, whatever, something like that. But it's something that you would like to do. It's not even like it's work. Okay. So for Scorpio, okay, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 2nd house sextiles Jupiter transiting in your 4th house of Aquarius, and on the same day, Mercury in your 3rd house in Capricorn trines Uranus transiting in your 7th house of Taurus. So these are like, okay, so we have like your 2nd, 3rd, and 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 7th house here. Okay, all involved. 2nd house, where you still have the Sun, is like earned income, how you earn your money, with a nice, very nice sextile to Jupiter in your 4th house of your home life, your family, but where you actually physically live. So it looks like you are spending money on a big ticket item, probably for your home, or something that you've been wanting. You probably need it anyways, but it's something that it could be like a luxury item, but it's something that's useful. You know, I mean, you actually needed it, even if it's a big screen TV, right? And with this Mercury trine the planet Uranus in your 7th house, third house is many things, okay, but it is like your siblings and your cousins. It's also your neighbors. It's the people in your neighborhood. Okay, 7th house is your close friends, close relationships. So there could be something going on here with a romantic partner. It could be a business partner, but there's some kind of communication going on. I believe it's with possibly like having someone maybe that you're seeing, let's say romantically, going to meet your siblings, you know, or your cousins or your family in some way or other. It's possibly making arrangements for the holiday, trying to figure out who's going to, you know, where you're going to spend them. If it is a business partner, this is just kind of like on those lines though too, where maybe you're the type that has plans, you do celebrate the holidays, and maybe your business partner doesn't. So maybe you're actually having them join you, whatever, you know, or that maybe they're just the type that they just don't celebrate holidays. Okay. On Friday, the 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 4th house squares Uranus transiting in your 7th house, okay, of Taurus. So Saturn's going to be here all by itself when Jupiter leaves Aquarius and moves into Pisces on the 28th, okay? So again, your 4th house is your home life, your family, your personal life, but it's your childhood too also, okay? 7th house, again, close relationships. Somebody could be trying, like, let's say if it's romantic, okay, somebody could be trying to get you to change your living arrangement in some way or other that benefits them, okay? Having the planet Uranus in your 7th house kind of means that you are either dating or are in business with people you would never have thought anybody would see you with. You couldn't even see yourself with this kind of person. They're very unusual or very different than what is considered your, what you're, you know, the kind of person you're attracted to in business or romance, okay? So it's like coming down to that in a way that they, I don't want to say they might just end up on your doorstep, just dump themselves into your life for some reason or other. Something could occur in their life where they need a place to stay, or, you know, can't stay wherever it is that they live now. So they may just move in on you. In fact, doesn't even have to be them. Anybody at this time could suddenly become like a real problem where you live in your home life. Even like a person that you already live with, like a roommate. But it could also be a family member. But somebody puts a real damper on your home life, okay? On the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 3rd house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn in your 3rd house. And I did a video on this, a separate video for this aspect, so you should listen to that. But this being the house of communication, among many other things, I would have to say that you're going to get some kind of doozy, either voicemail, text message, phone conversation, email, regular postal mail, some kind of regular physical card in the regular postal mail even. Somebody could really like profess their love for you or whatever, or their true feelings could come out at this time. This is a really kind of like obsessive quality to this aspect. Okay, so to me it looks like it's occurring in your communications or with someone even in your 3rd house is your everyday life. Okay, so in your area, your neighborhood, something like that. On Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in your 3rd house in Capricorn, sextiles Neptune transiting in your 5th house of Pisces. So, you know, Jupiter is moving into Pisces on the 28th into your 5th house. So I would have to say, for now though, you are possibly having some kind of, let's say like a communication with someone It could be, fifth house is romance and creativity and just fun of any kind of amusements. So it could be with someone that you're seeing romantically. This is to, I guess, make plans to, could be travel, just day, like a day trip or overnight trip, or you are going to be attending a party or even maybe throwing a party. Maybe you had no idea that you were going to be the one that was selected to suddenly have a party at their place or some kind of gathering, but it could be something like this. But whatever it is, this is like a fun communication or a time where you're making plans to do something fun. Okay. Okay, so for Sagittarius, on Monday, December 20th, the sun in your first house sextiles Jupiter transiting in Aquarius in your third house. And on the same day, Mercury in your second house of Capricorn trines Uranus transiting in your sixth house of Taurus. So, first of all, I think this, the sun's still in your first house with a very nice sextile to Jupiter in your third house of local travel, communications, the written word, the internet, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so, excuse me, I would have to say that maybe this is one of those days where you receive an awful lot of regular postal mail, email, any kind of communication, but it's good news, whatever it is. Or it's just like, holiday related or birthday related or whatever, but it, I think you'll just have a little bit more contact with your friends or even people in your neighborhood, okay? Like the people you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. Okay, on the same day with Mercury in your second house trining Uranus in your sixth house of the kind of work that you do, I would have to say that you are on the receiving end of either setting up a new deal, no matter what you do for a living, or even if you don't work at all. Okay, there's something more than likely that you've been working on, even if it's just like an old hobby that is able to bring in more money, an extra income or a side income or something like that, that is really becoming your main source of income. It will be like your job. It's what you always wanted it to be. Okay, so this is like one of those days where somebody could contact you or you could contact them, and this is in regards to work. Okay, somebody is seeking you out to do whatever it is that you do. If you create something, they are putting in an order, or whatever it is that you do. Okay. On Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your third house squares Uranus transiting in your sixth house of Taurus. So now the third house, okay, is your your everyday life, the people you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day, the places you would go, even in your own neighborhood. But this is a big communication and travel house. It is the internet, okay, local travel, or short distance travel, like a day trip or a weekend or overnight or something like that. This is also the house of your siblings and cousins. But this is like where there's like postal mail, regular postal mail, email, text message, voicemail, something like that or other. So you could actually be sending or being on the receiving end of something in regards to work, the kind of work that you do, the very place. Okay, your sixth house is the kind of work that you do in the place where you actually work. It's your co-workers, it's your work schedule. Again, even if you don't work at all, there's still something going on here in regards to like the sixth house. Okay, if you don't work or whatever, the sixth house is also the house of your health and also the house of service to others. Okay, so I would have to say, like in this case, that's probably where this is happening. Okay, because as far as your career goes, the kind of work that you do, it's like all enhanced and like on good, very good right now. So by service to others, I mean, you know, someone you know, could be anyone, but could be family member, neighbor, friend, whatever. They need help with something, so they need a favor and they need you to do something for them. But in return, they do something for you, so you both benefit in some way, like for the arrangement, okay? Now, I believe, though, that there is a sibling, cousin, or neighbor, okay, that's what the third house is, that you've, or family, it could be anyone, right, that someone that you've helped more than likely in the past. You've already done this very thing for them before, and they would like you to do it again. First of all, you weren't real happy with having to do it in the first place, probably. And second time or third time, whatever, because they probably asked you more than once to do this very thing, and I believe you're done. You know, it was never meant to be a permanent setup. In fact, like, this person turns to you for every little thing, instead of turning to like the people in their immediate like family, like especially if they have children that should be doing these things for them and not you. You know, it's wild. Okay, but anyways, I believe that this is something like that. Okay, so, excuse me, this would be your time to end it for once and for all, completely. Just, you know, say you can't do this anymore. You're not doing it anymore. Okay, on Saturday the 25th, on Christmas, Venus in Capricorn in your second house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn in your second house of money, earned income, your possessions, what you own that's valuable, your investments. Okay, I would have to say, and this is on Christmas Day. Okay, I would have to say you've been really good this year. Okay, because Santa or somebody is giving you something really, really nice. It could be like a pretty big ticket item, okay? It could be like a luxury item, like jewelry, like expensive jewelry even. But it doesn't have to be expensive, okay? I'm just saying somebody really may be gifting you with something really spectacular that could be a little bit of a surprise too. Maybe you weren't even expecting anything. If I were you, though, I would like play the lottery, okay? Not just on this day, probably like day before, day after. This is kind of like a fleeting transit. It's just Venus, okay, acting on a major planet like Pluto. But it's pretty important because this is in effect all the way up until March, okay? So I would have to say, and you just had that new moon solar eclipse on the 4th in your sign, so that's in effect for a long time too. So I'm just saying, you know, you could make like a really really big deal investment at this time, even if it is in a lottery ticket or a gamble of some kind, and it could pay off. Okay, on Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your second house sextiles Neptune transiting in your fourth house of Pisces. So your fourth house is your home life, where you actually physically live, the property surrounding it, your family, or the people that you live with, even if you live alone. It's just like still like where you live, your place. So I think that you're going to buy something really nice for your home. You know, you're going to I don't know, could purchase, it could be a big ticket item, could be anything. It could be something that you've actually been saving up for. But maybe because of the day before, that Venus conjunct Pluto, maybe you're given the means to buy something that you've wanted. Okay, now the fourth house is also your personal life. So maybe it's just a personal item or something that you've always wanted, okay, for yourself and not necessarily your home or for like your family to enjoy. Okay, so, excuse me. Okay, so for Capricorn, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 12th house sextiles Jupiter transiting in your second house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in your first house, okay, Capricorn, trines Uranus transiting in your fifth house of Taurus. So these are very nice aspects. I believe, you know, the Sun's in your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes actions by you or someone else, with a very nice sextile to Jupiter in your second house of income, money, okay? I think that you are, maybe have made some kind of really good investment or whatever, but you are receiving money in some way or other just due to this Jupiter here, an investment that you've made that's like maybe paying off, or, you know, I don't even know if they still have Christmas Club accounts at the bank, but maybe it's something like that, okay? But anyway, with Mercury in your first house, you're doing an awful lot of communicating with people, calling, and a lot of conversations, and a very nice trine to Uranus in your fifth house of romance, okay? And speculation, and, you know, creativity and fun and lots of other things. But I think that you are going to spend money on someone that you love, a romantic partner, or if that's not the case, you could just be spending it on a good time, okay? Because that's what the fifth house is also. Fun. It's fun. It's maybe even spontaneous. Maybe it's not even something that you were planning. But, you know, you could just like come into some money some way or other, and it is a little bit of a secret, okay, due to that sun in your 12th house with the sextile to Jupiter in your second. Maybe you are keeping a secret, and maybe people want to know, where did you get this? Where'd you get this money all of a sudden? Okay, but it's none of their business. Okay, so anyways, on Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your second house squares Uranus transiting in your fifth house of Taurus. And this is the time that possibly money would not be really a problem. It's just that you're deciding not to spend it on a good time or on some kind of venture that maybe was too risky, or anything actually. But like I said, the fifth house is a creative project. It's amusements of any kind. It is speculation and gambling, and it's children though also. So you know, Saturn puts the tightens the belt more or less on your spending. And it's not like a very big deal, though. I just think that it's probably your choice. You're making the choice not to spend money on something like a good time. But at the beginning, you know, on the 20th, that's a different story, okay? Anyways, on Saturday, the 25th, Christmas, okay? Venus in your first house in Capricorn conjuncts Pluto in your first house, okay? In your sign. So this is like a really big deal. Okay, I made a separate video of this aspect, so if you haven't listened to it, you should probably do that, because you're most affected by this transit. It lasts all the way up till March. Okay, so it's a pretty big deal, and it's occurring on Christmas Day. So you could be in for a really big surprise of some kind, a gift or some kind of attention, or, you know, even just someone coming into your life at this time, someone surprising you in some way. But it's like, it could be just for friendship, but this looks to me like it's love, okay? Something pretty serious. But I'd have to say it's one hell of a birthday for you if you're born around this time, or born at the end of December. Okay, so maybe people have even I don't know, planned a surprise party for you or something, and maybe there's going to be somebody there that you never expected was going to be there, okay? But I'd still say you're on the receiving end of something pretty nice, like a gift, money, something or other, okay? Play the lottery, okay? On Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your first house, sextiles Neptune transiting in your third house of Pisces. So your third house is big communication and travel house. With you having Mercury in your first house, you are in contact with a lot of people, or more than usual for you, you know, or people that usually you're only in contact with this time of year because of the holidays. So it's something like that. It's something like possibly sending or being on the receiving end of regular postal mail that it is something nice. It's not just like Christmas cards. These could be birthday cards, you know, for, to you, and it could be a message maybe somebody leaves for you, like on your answering machine or voicemail, or sends you a text message, something like that. So it's a very nice communication on this day. Okay, for Aquarius, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 11th house sextiles Jupiter, transiting in your first house of Aquarius. And on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 12th house trines Uranus, transiting in your 4th house of Taurus. So the sextile from your 11th to your first house, your 11th is your like your friends, your most sociable house. It is social media, but it's where you would like normally go to hang out and your group of friends and whatever. So maybe you are doing something at that time, getting together with some of your friends in person, or this is also social media, so maybe you're online a little bit more on this day in contact with your friends, but there, whatever kind of contact or conversations that you have on this day, it really enhances your personality in some way or other, because that sextile to Jupiter, still in your sign. It will be here up until the 28th, and it moves into Pisces, but you still have people coming into your life via social media or just being out somewhere, meeting new people. And this could be one of those days with Mercury in your 12th house in Capricorn with a very nice trine to your 4th house at home. You could be like on the receiving end of something, let's say, very nice for your home, okay, where you actually live, the house or furniture, something like that. But it could be a little bit of a secret. Having Mercury in your 12th house usually brings out the investigator in people, so they usually check into things. You may have things about anything, a person or somebody you always wanted to know about, or some kind of issue possibly that could be going on in your life. So if you were doing something like that in regards to your home or your property, or even somebody that you're living with, like if it isn't your family, it's a roommate, you've been doing a little bit of snooping, you know, but on this day anyway, you get good feedback. You find out stuff that makes you feel relieved, you know, and even glad that you checked something out, okay? And this is in regards to your home or property or family even. Okay, on Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your first house squares Uranus, transiting in your 4th house of Taurus, okay? So now we've got a square, okay, from your first house. This will be happening again. Jupiter is leaving your sign and moving into Pisces in your 2nd house. So all you're going to have is Saturn in your 1st house, and it will be squaring the planet Uranus in your 4th house of family and your home. Okay, where you live, the people you live with, your childhood even, your personal life. But it's like your family or whatever, or your home life. And having the planet Uranus there just means that there's a lot of kind of upheaval going on in your personal life or where you live. You know, it could be like never a dull moment kind of thing. You're never sure what the hell's going to happen next, you know. Something like that. So this is kind of like one of those times where you know, you could have people just sometimes just show up at your door that, like, the last time you saw them, you were both in 2nd grade or something weird like that, you know. Just a weirdness that comes to kind of like your home, okay. So this is like one of those days. Not a big deal, but because it's the holidays, you know, things like this happen. This would be Christmas Eve. You know, maybe you have Christmas carolers or something like that. If some places still, I guess, do that show up on, you know, at your doorstep to sing, and I don't know, somebody just screams at them to leave or whatever. Okay, but it's not you. It's someone you live with or whatever. Anyways, okay, on Saturday the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 12th 12th house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn, in your 12th house. So this is, I did a separate video on this aspect because it's in effect until March. So you may want to listen to that video. But this being the house of secrets and actions by you or someone else behind the scenes, means that actually, you know, you could be working on something that's in secret, not really letting anyone know about it. Could be some kind of creative project or something. You know, you just had Jupiter in your sign like this whole past year, and it was supposed to open up other, you know, opportunities for you to do stuff you'd never done before. So maybe that's what you were doing. You could have been learning something. You know, that maybe, you know, maybe it's not like a big secret, but it's not something you went on and on about. Okay, but it's also, this could be exactly like it looks kind of like The Secret Romance. Okay, so maybe that's been going on, something like that, or maybe something like that actually begins at this time. Okay, so, but it's still a secret, still going on. Okay, but it's still a secret. On Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 12th house sextiles Neptune, transiting in your 2nd house of Pisces. So we're back to secrets again with this Mercury. You know, maybe you're going to receive something really nice as like a holiday gift, you know, Christmas gift or whatever holiday that you celebrate or whatever. And I don't know, either you know who it's from, could be a secret admirer, but you know who it's from, and maybe you're not allowed to, or you don't want to let everybody know about it. Something like that, or you send or you receive, or both, to someone else. Okay. Okay, so for Pisces, on Monday, December 20th, the Sun in Sagittarius in your 10th house sextiles Jupiter, transiting in your 12th house of Aquarius, and on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn in your 11th house trines Uranus, transiting in your 3rd house of Taurus. So we have your 7th, okay, your 10th, 11th, 12th, and let's see here, 3rd house going on here. Okay, so the Sun's still in your 10th house of your like public life. Okay, your career, but how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally. So you're still kind of like out there. That's coming to an end, kind of, because the Sun will be moving into Capricorn, but then that will make you a little bit more active with your friends, okay, where Mercury is right now in Capricorn. But anyways, this sextile to Jupiter in your 12th house of behind the scenes, okay, behind the scenes actions by you or someone else. So it kind of looks like maybe even all year having Jupiter here, that there was someone helping you in some way or other, but because the Sun is still in your 10th house of your career, I'd have to say it might be somebody that you work with, or somebody that can put in a good word for you, even at a new position, if that's what you were looking for, was a new job, you were going to leave wherever it is that you are now, or even if you don't work at all, there's still something going on in your public life, okay, but you still have help, or you're friends with someone, that it's a little bit of a secret, okay, but they've been helping you all year, more or less, or you've been doing something, it could be like charitable work or something like that, for like the past year while Jupiter was in Aquarius. But it's moving on the 28th into your sign, okay? Jupiter moves into Pisces. Anyways, the trine from Mercury in your 11th house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. It's your most sociable house. It's your friends, acquaintances, where you would normally go to hang out. Very nice trine to your 3rd house of like local travel and communications. It's the house of your everyday life. I would have to say that maybe you are running into someone possibly when you're out somewhere, an old friend, somebody you used to go to school with, or someone who is from an old neighborhood where you live. And could be maybe because they're back in town for the holidays or something like that. You could also get some kind of really neat, unusual message on social media. Somebody could contact you that way. And I would have to say that it's someone that you haven't heard from in a really long time. Okay, on Friday, December 24th, Saturn in Aquarius in your 12th house squares Uranus transiting in your 3rd house of Taurus. So now we're back to a square here. Okay, Jupiter will be leaving again your 12th house and moving into your sign, which is great. Okay, but Saturn's still going to be here in your 12th house by itself, and it will do this. It will do the same aspect again. Okay, so what it does is sometimes Saturn, first of all, your 3rd house is like almost like your voice. Okay, it's how you speak, or your ability to speak or say something, or wanting to say something. It doesn't even have to be speech. It could be the written word. Okay. So you, in your mind, have probably been wanting to say a hell of a lot of stuff to a hell of a lot of people, but you haven't been. And this is like one of those times, okay, where you're like feeling like, well, why am I keeping my mouth shut? I would really like to say something about this, you know, but you, 3rd house is siblings and cousins. It's also neighbors, okay. So it could be like one of them that you don't want to even start with it, start some kind of feud or whatever. So this is kind of like one of those days. A lot of times the holidays throw people together that should not be together, okay? So if it's something like that, then maybe this could be the year where you just finally say, no, I'm not doing this. This is my holiday too. I want to have a good time. You know, why am I feeling obligated to attend something that I don't want to go to because none of us get along or something like that? So then don't do it. Put an end to it now. Okay, on Saturday the 25th, Venus in Capricorn in your 11th house conjuncts Pluto, also in Capricorn in your 11th house. And I did a separate video on this aspect, so you may want to listen to that because this is in effect up until March. Okay, so it's going to be a long time here in your 11th house of friends. Okay, friends and acquaintances, any kind of organization that you belong to. It's your most sociable house. It's social media. It's your house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. But basically, this is like your group of friends. So there's somebody there, possibly somebody new. Having Pluto here, though, for as long as it has been, means that your group of friends has changed in some way or other. You know, maybe you're having more contact with more people who are more intense. You know, that's what Pluto does. But they're more they're people that bring about, let's say, we'll call them agents of change. Okay, so maybe you belong to some kind of organization or other, somebody like, you know, something like that. If not, you could just run into possibly an old friend. It could be somebody that's, again, only in town because of the holidays. That's the only reason they're here, and the only reason you're seeing them is because they're out in a public place. Okay, or you could run into them also on social media. Okay, but this could begin some kind of really nice relationship. If it isn't romantic, it could be. But it could be somebody that just comes into your life to help you go after an 11th house thing, which is a dream, hope, or a wish. Okay. On Sunday, December 26th, Mercury in Capricorn in your 11th house, sextiles Neptune transiting in your 1st house, Pisces. So this is conversations or communications in some way or other by phone or email, something like that, with your group of friends. Okay, and they're maybe making plans for you or wanting you to participate in something that they're going to do, and it will probably be like something in person. They would like people to get together at least once. Maybe it is New Year's Eve, something like that, but they're possibly trying to get you to join your friends, a group of friends, for some kind of get-together, like a celebration probably, but some kind of get-together in person. So I hope everyone enjoyed their forecast for this week. Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. Please check out my monthly forecasts and my in the description box below, my Ask Me a Question, and there's also a link there to my website if you would like to have your chart done. But I think I might be putting out another video like through this week, the first week coming up when there aren't really any other major aspects. Okay, so see you later. Goodbye.